Well, hey everybody. No, you're not seasick. I'm in a rocking chair. I'm gonna try not to rock though, because I know that's annoying. So it's been a hot minute since we last talked. I have been, just life. So just to catch you up in case, I don't know. So my mom, when I went away for the first time in 2.5 years, my mom fell and broke her arm. She broke the ball part of your arm joint clear off her arm. And then she also got diagnosed with breast cancer 2 days later. So she's having just not a good experience of life right now. And my brothers and I were trying to care for her, but that really wasn't working out well for her. So we had to put her in a nursing facility. And it's actually a really nice place. It's older, but the people are super, super nice. And she's getting physical therapy and they're taking care of her and she's definitely improving. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to get her lumpectomy this week because she developed an upper respiratory infection. It's not COVID, but it was not safe for them to do surgery on her. So that is rescheduled to the 11th. You just have to excuse the mess in the background. I just wasn't really feeling like going downstairs. What we're talking about today, I could sit here and talk for a few hours about how screwed up life is right now, how screwed up and hard life is personally, how hard it is to be in the world and how hard it is to be an American right now. I could talk about all of that, but I think we're all aware of that. What I would like to do today is I would like to tell you how badly I handled it and have been handling it and what I'm trying to do to handle all of this a little bit better. And why do I do stuff like that? Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who have channels where they talk about, like, they tell you how to do things without necessarily having experienced those things themselves, or maybe saying they've got it all figured out, when I'm not sure that they really do. I don't think anybody has it all figured out. I know I don't have it all figured out. And for all that I give you guys lots of advice, as you know, I fall down on the self-care and stuff all the time. But what I want to remind you of is that I also have a really awesome life. I am in my house. I have a house. I have a husband that I love very much, who loves me and respects me. And we have just a really great friendship. I have a wonderful son and he's just amazing. And I love him, excuse me. And he tolerates me. No, I think he actually loves me. And I have enough money to pay my bills most of the time. Sometimes it gets a little hairy, but I know that in the world we live in, if you have enough money to pay your bills and your credit card debt isn't completely crippling, my life is good, despite all of the extra challenges that are in my life because of, mental illness and chronic physical illness. There's a book that I really would like to recommend to you that I can't remember the name of right now. It's Jenny Lawson's new book, and it's Something Broken. I may have talked about it in a previous video. I'm listening to it on Audible, and because listening to Jenny read her own stuff is just really, it's really heartwarming and wonderful. And it's a combination of comedy, kind of observational humor, mental health humor, which there just isn't enough mental health humor being done by people who are mentally ill. And also there's some parts where they're gonna break your heart, and there's other parts that give you hope. And I love it because she's kind of sharing all of this from the trenches, kind of like I am. And I guess that's why I love her so much. So here, let me just give you a snapshot of me last week. You gotta love this whole look I'm working right now. This is me fresh out of the shower. But I did shower today. Also winning, I took a shower today. Go me. So I was at VidCon last week, and I was just, it was a little stressful because I had to leave my mom, and I was worried about COVID, and which was I should have been, because people who went to VidCon got COVID. Luckily, I'm okay. I sat there and I listened to, I was on the industry track because I go from a business, and I was there, and, you know, I support kids and family creators, and I have a small company that does that, and it's a passion for me. It's a mission. It's something that I feel really strongly about. And so this is my oh poor baby here moment. So many people said to me, Melissa, how come you're never on one of these panels? Melissa, how come they never ask you to speak at VidCon? And I just kept saying to everybody, it's because I'm a nobody. It's because I'm a nobody. I don't have a multi-million-dollar company. I don't have 6 channels with billions of views. I'm a nobody. And I kept saying that. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad to keep saying that to yourself. So by Friday night was the Monster High. It was finally time for me to go walk through the Monster High thing, and the cast was going to be there. And I should have been really excited, and instead I was sitting in my room blubber crying, like snot in my mouth, just completely. And my husband called in the middle of this, and I was trying to pretend like I wasn't. Hi, honey, how's your day? I'm like actively crying, but trying not to let him, because, you know, once you start going like that, you can't stop. And and finally he's like, you don't sound right, what's wrong? And I'm like, I and then he was like, talk to me, babe. And I was like, I'm nobody. It was one of those. On a day that I should have been really excited and happy, I was doing that. How did I get there? Well, I got there because of some of the stuff we talked about, but I also got there because I didn't do all of the things that I know that I'm supposed to do. So what are we supposed to do? Let's review. We're supposed to move our bodies, right? We need to exercise. People with mental illness actually do benefit from moving their bodies for 30 minutes every day. It's the last friggin' thing you want to do. I have not been doing it. I do take my medications. I never miss my medications. I'm good like that. Need to eat a healthy diet, like lots of, you know, those green leafies and living things and fruits and vegetables, and not a lot of processed food. We need to avoid those carbs and sugar. So I have been basically everything I told you not to eat, I have been basically mainlining for the past 2 months. And that stuff that I told you you should be eating, I've barely touched. I've had a couple of salads, maybe. And then it's really important, especially if you are in a vulnerable situation, to avoid alcohol or any other kind of drug. Yeah, I have not been avoiding alcohol. It's not like I'm sitting here day drinking or anything, but really what I should be doing right now is not having any alcohol in my system at all. But no, like Thursday night, I went out and I was going to go out for an hour. Maybe just one drink. If anybody's ever seen Eliza Schlesinger, she's a comedian. I just got from one drink. Yeah. And then, you know, so yeah, that was not one drink. And so then you wonder, like, gee, Friday, you completely fell apart. Well, let me see. I had, I think, like 3 beers. I think there was a glass of wine in there. French fries and a hamburger. I think I had peanut M&Ms for breakfast that on Friday. And then I wonder why at 5 p.m. on Friday, I'm completely unhinged, right? So those are the things that we should be doing. And we don't all do them. But I did, the week before I went to VidCon, I did get out and walk twice. And so, look, I'm never going to have a perfect score on all of those things. But I'm going to keep trying because I don't like the way I feel right now. I don't like the way I felt last week. And, you know, we're doing life in extreme mode at this point. Even if you don't have my personal issues, you have your own personal shit, right? And then we've got everything that's going on in the world right now. And, you know, like last night, I mean, my heart broke for my son. So my son decided he wanted to watch The Boys, but he doesn't want to watch it alone because, like, he can watch cartoon gore all day long, but like stuff that looks realistic, which I'm like, oh my God, you are my kid. So he wanted to watch The Boys, so we started watching The Boys last night. We're halfway through the first episode, but the two of us are like online. We're both playing video games and Twitter and whatever. And all of a sudden, I go on Twitter, and I'm like, oh my God, Technoblade died? And Kane's like, what? So we had to pause, and then we had to investigate. Technoblade is a very popular Minecraft YouTuber. I think he's part of that whole Dream Team SMG. I don't know. I only hear about these things secondhand through my son. But by all accounts, he was a really good guy. And he was 27 years old. And he died from sarcoma, cancer. Seemed pretty painful. And he was only 27. And my heart broke for my son, because I was like, we had just talked about like what else, like I just can't take another friggin' thing. And it's not like he knew the guy. He's not like, oh, he hangs on his every video, but he knows who he is. He knows of that fandom. He has friends who are very much into that fandom. And he was like, oh my God, I have to reach out to so-and-so. Oh God, they must be freaking out right now. And I just thought, like, so we just sat here and we were like, this is just ridiculous, right? But how do we keep going in all of this? Because like, I really believe that keeping going is the right thing to do. I think that people who actually care about stuff, and I do believe that most people with mental illness actually really care about stuff a lot. Maybe we care too much. I don't know. But I think we do need to keep going. I think the world does need us. And so the number one thing, so there's the exercise, the eating right, blah, 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 avoiding alcohol. But it's even more important. It's remembering and stopping to notice the good stuff. Our brains have a negativity bias. They will notice the negative things always more than the good things. It's just a protection mechanism that we're still carrying from our times running away from the saber-toothed tigers and the killer hippos. So, like right now, I am looking at the most beautiful blue sky. And just gotta take a moment to look at the way the green of the trees looks against that blue sky and actually experience that moment for a second. You don't have to do it all day. I'm not going to sit here. Although, that would be cool. And, like the way the light hits my neighbor's pool. I don't have a pool. The little cute look on my cat's face right now while he's sleeping and he's got his paws crossed in front of him. What I'm saying is I'm talking about gratitude and noticing the good things. And those gratitude lists, gosh darn it, they actually work. There's lots of apps if you just want an app, or you can just use like notes on your phone and just keep a running gratitude list and just stop. Even if you have to set an alarm on your phone that just says, oh, ding, it's time for you to write down 5 things that are good right now. Doesn't even have to be like, oh, I'm grateful for, like, I've changed it to, what are 5 things that are good right now? Like, my tea is the perfect temperature. That sky with those green trees, that is really good. I have air conditioning. That's really good right now because it's almost 90 degrees and it's only 10 a.m. I'm talking to you guys, and that's a good thing. And my cat is adorable. Was that 5? Let's throw in another one. I can walk. And I was reminded when I was at VidCon in 2016, I had to do VidCon in a wheelchair. And I haven't been in that wheelchair since 2016. That was the last time. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. So try to focus on just 5 things that are good. Try to do those other things to whatever degree you can. I highly recommend the staying away from alcohol or weed or anything like that. Those really do biochemically F you up badly. And if you are on any medications, like, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. Yeah, it's really not. And so a friend of mine told me they were doing something called Summer of Sobriety. Theirs was extreme. It involved leaving their phone in their car when they get home from work. And I was like, oh, fuck no. First of all, I don't work. I'm here. But I was like, really? No phone? No smartphone? That's not going to happen. But anyway, maybe just try to do something like that and see if it makes you feel better. Try just doing one of the things. Maybe it's just moving your body for 30 minutes a day. And remember, that can be dancing like a doofus. It can be going for a walk. It doesn't have to be joining a gym, doing yoga, doing a workout video, getting a Peloton. It could be walking around the block, or it literally could be dancing like an idiot to your favorite music. I mean, you could dance well. I mean, if you dance well, I find that dancing like a goofball really cheers me up though. So maybe throw in that Elaine dance from Seinfeld every once in a while and see if that doesn't make you feel better. Make sure to talk to your friends. Don't isolate, and just don't give up. Don't give up. Everything is really, really hard right now, and it feels like we are slipping into darkness. But here's what I honestly believe. I'm gonna leave you with this thought. A friend of mine, when they were 10 years old, gave a speech at the March for Peace on Washington. Yes, they were 10. And they said that what we are witnessing now are the death throes of hate. So when something is fighting for its life, right before it dies, it fights the hardest. I really believe with all my heart that Presley was right. It seems so extreme, everything that is happening right now. And like we're going backwards and there's so much hate. But here's what I believe. I believe that these are the death throes. This is the last gasp of all the hate and the ignorance. And I'm not saying that this is going to last like 5 minutes. In societal time, things can go on for years. But we're winning. By we, I mean good people, are winning. When you look at how far we've come. And now you're like, yeah, well, we just went like 100 steps backwards. Only for a short period of time. This is their last gasp. These are the death throes of hate and ignorance. And they're fighting with everything they have right now because they're dying. So you just keep pushing back. Just keep squeezing. You keep fighting too. Because we're not losing. We're winning. And that's what this is. It just looks really screwed up. But go watch when, animals are fighting each other and one is about to lose. They give it everything they have in those last minutes. And that's what's happening. So I hope that cheers you up. But don't give up. Keep going. And know that you're not alone. And nobody's perfect. Nobody out there has it figured out. The people that make videos that tell you they've got this all figured out and their life is just absolutely awesome now. My life, by the way, is wonderful, and I love my life. It's not absolutely awesome. It's not perfect, but I love it, even in all of its messed up. Bleh. I still love my life. I do have a good life. I laugh more than I cry. Win. Right? I feel like Charlie Sheen today. I keep saying winning. I gotta stop that. The tea's the perfect temperature. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So share with me down below either what you need to change, what you have changed, and what do you think? Are we witnessing the death throes of hate? I think we are. I really do. I think ultimately good and kindness and compassion will prevail. But oddly enough, all the good, kind, compassionate people have to fight a little bit to get there. It's kind of weird. But I love you all very much. Sorry I kind of abandoned you a little bit there. It's been a couple of months of just wildness, but I'm going to try to get back to doing this, because this is also something that helps heal me. And thank you for being there for me to help me heal. I love you guys so much, and I will see you again real soon. Love you. Bye.